Those that mind don't matter, and those that matter don't mind. Dr. Seuss. I'm Julie.
I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Morgan.
I'm Stephanie, and this is Blind Gems.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
I really am struggling to believe that this is the last episode of season 2. It went by so fast.
Absolutely, like in a blink.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked how fast, the interviews themselves, it was just so engaging having guests that it didn't feel like half an hour interviewing them. They all went by so fast.
They did. They really did. And most of in fact, I think all of the guests we had said the same thing. Wow, I can't believe that was 30 minutes. Except for the day I messed up and we only recorded for 24 minutes, but we won't mention that on live air, right?
No.
That was only a few minutes.
Yeah.
But it's been just lovely. I've learned things about some of the guests that I never knew. And the one that shocked me the most was Tony going to space camp. That was, I never knew that. Yeah. That one was quite astonishing. Yeah. But I've enjoyed each and every one. I don't know about you, but I really have.
It's amazing. Like, I was just thinking back. It's just like there's so many, well, I mean, in the cafe in general, but just independent, strong women. And I was thinking about it last night about all the guests we've had on. And I don't know if you ladies are aware, but 6 out of the 10 live independently on their own.
Like, really? I never thought of it that way.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm sure they have support here and there, but they do live on their own, which is absolutely amazing.
It is when you don't live on your own, isn't it? It's like, oh my God, how do you do it?
I know we have supportive families and I'm truly thankful for mine, but, actually being on your own.
Yeah. That is huge, isn't it?
Yeah.
There really are some amazing kick-ass women in this community. Mm-hmm. I mean, we just brushed the surface with the 10 that we had on. And they were the ones that foolishly volunteered first. So, they were our pancake first baby.
Yeah.
We tested the waters with these 10 women. There is one thing, excuse me, that I really did notice, though, was how pride came into the conversations in a lot of cases over the 10 episodes. And I think for anything, any barrier or any person, pride really is our worst enemy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have to actually, well, I think even if you had sight as well, but it's just to be not embarrassed about who you are and maybe the way you dress and how you look and the way you act. Well, maybe to some extent, but
yeah.
But it's
Sorry, Elizabeth.
No, it's okay. I was done.
I think it's for me, I'm concerned about what people will think. Like if I'm eating in public, that is something that's very stressful for me. I get very anxious when I have to eat in public. And I'm thinking people are looking at me, watching me eat. And then when I knock my peas off the plate, they're rolling their eyes at me or whatever. When in reality, they probably know, like I said at the beginning, those that are looking at me and judging me don't matter to my life.
Yeah.
And those that do matter are not judging me, whether that's just an acquaintance in the community or a family member, a friend, or even a total stranger. You know, what matters to me is that you're a kind human being.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't it funny how we still are playing to the sighted community?
Yeah.
Yet
It's
we
kind of
do.
like,
Go ahead, Steph.
I'm saying we kind of still want to make them feel okay. I don't know why we want to do that. I mean, I've been on both ends. I was, and now I'm not. But I feel sometimes we're still trying to apologize for, I wouldn't want to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah,
And it's, I'm better at it. And like, it, I, it still sometimes frustrates me. And I come home and I'm like, why did I say that? Or why did I overcompensate, for somebody else's
Yeah. Or
comfort.
apologize.
Yeah, or
yeah,
apologize. And then just one thing I want to touch on, the one of our guests that really touched me was Christine. She has so many medical issues and she's this she's got such positive spirit and grace and not just blindness that she was dealing with. And I never realized, it's like I kind of think of her now when something stupid happens, like it's so dumb because
hmm,
she had so much more and she's so happy and so positive and she clears the hurdles. And it's like
yeah,
you kind of gotta step back and go, it could be worse somewhere. I don't have any other truly medical issues that I have to deal with. So she was one of,
yeah.
I think, the most powerful um, ladies that came on.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing. She really
She
touched my
really
heart.
is. And she's a very, very sweet lady. Yeah, she is. She, she brought me the other day. I don't know if any of the three of you were in the room. Um, Scout was telling us what he had for supper, and he said, I had chicken vaginas. And I started laughing. I said, yeah, what? I've never heard fajitas pronounced vaginas before. I mean, they were just giggling and fooling around. So I got the giggles and couldn't stop. And then all of a sudden, Chrissy, I mean, she's the queen of the one liners. She says, is that where, Scout, is that where chicken, is that where eggs come from? Well, that was it. No, I completely lost it. So she can be very quiet in the room, but she's a force to be reckoned with, that one. Yeah. I really enjoyed Emmy's. I've enjoyed them all, but Emmy just lifts my spirits just by hearing her voice. Not even what she's got to say. She just I know that it's going to be something positive and sunny and, encouraging. She has a beautiful, beautiful spirit.
She had such a powerful message, though, Don't give up whatever you want to do. Go do it.
Yes.
Throw caution to the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact
Experience life.
Yeah. Yeah.
travel, the fact that she travels and the way she does it, it's like it's inspirational. I mean, honestly, totally.
What
Well,
really, what I really enjoyed was, I know we talked about this, but when we were in a room and we were talking about the blind Barbie and how, oh, it's contracted braille on the side, and why would it be in contracted braille? Because it's for little kids, Barbies, and they're not going to be able to read that. And then we talked to Jo, and she's like, yeah, I was reading contracted braille by the time I was 4 or 5.
yeah.
And we were all like, oh, wow. Like, because we assumed just because we can't read contracted braille yet and we are struggling that little kids couldn't. But we forgot that little kids, read by 5 or 6 or even at 4, like sighted kids, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why not? Why wouldn't they be fluent in like contracted braille at their reading level when they're that young?
They probably pick it up quicker.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I mean, they're like sponges, aren't they, at that age?
Mm-hmm.
I actually have been asked by, we've got this new hub in the county here, and all the art is going to have braille as part of the art. It's all the tactile art is what I should say. A lot of sculptors with the the mindset of, that they have to be enjoyed by everybody. So the more tactile art, the better. And they've done a wonderful job of it. And because I said, at first I said, no, I can't do the braille because I can't help with the braille with the artists because I don't know contracted braille yet. And Joel pointed out that not all languages use contracted braille, therefore, public braille should be in everyday use braille. It's like, I can do that. I am so looking forward to doing it. It's going
That'll
to
be
be just
awesome.
amazing. Yeah.
That sounds
So
fun.
it does sound fun, doesn't
It
it?
does. Yes, because I would love to do something like that. Like paint something or do, I don't know, paper mache, just something physical, tactile. So that would be so interesting to learn and to check out. That very cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
I love my tactile art. And I did, not very strongly, but I did try something within the cafe. It didn't go over well. However, if you are interested, Steph, in that,
Yeah.
Hadley does an craft arts and craft thing that they do
Oh.
once. I think I can't remember. It's not every week, but if you look on their website, and I um go to it, and then if you miss it, they send you the email link so you can listen to them later,
Oh.
or you can just go on their website and listen to past ones, right?
Oh, that would
But
be
they've got
so
lots of tips
interesting.
and tricks of art you can do with sight loss. Yeah, yeah.
That would be very interesting.
Are you an arty person, Morgan?
No, I could hardly draw a straight line, never mind a stick figure when I could see. So I doubt I'm very artistic now that I can't see.
Yeah, I'm not very arty either or crafty.
Yeah, the height of my craftiness was making like macaroni art when I was like 5. So
We were
But
talking about that in a room the other day, how we all did that. We all made crafts with food when we were little or with our kids. And now I wouldn't dream of using food in such a wasteful way.
yeah.
It's
oh
funny how
yeah.
the mindset's changed. And I know in schools they don't do it, or I'm told they don't,
They don't
because the
use
No.
children there that have come to school hungry, and there's the teacher giving them marshmallows to use or sugar cones to use, to make snowmen or
Mhm.
Christmas trees. And yeah,
it's
so
very true.
it is, isn't it? It's something I never thought of before.
I
I'm
could
still going to
probably
make
give
a
the school's donations with all the macaroni or pasta that I drop on the floor.
Right.
I
not fit
remember
for human
in
consumption.
I
Yeah.
remember in 7th grade, we were in the science lab and we each got a chocolate chip cookie and we were supposed to like kind of like not dissect it but take out the chocolate like chunks out of it and like something like that. And of course after the lesson we threw them out because they had been on the science table where like frogs and worms and different
Ooh.
chemicals had been, so you can't eat them. But could you imagine a kid that barely gets food, never mind a chocolate chip cookie?
Throwing
Oh
It's just
yeah.
going to throw it away. Yeah,
having to throw it away, right?
yeah.
Uh,
No, so I
yeah.
am happy to see that they think about that. And I know that in here in Canada, kids don't start school hungry. There's breakfast programs, which is a wonderful thing. Except when it's your kid that's going to the breakfast club, even though she had breakfast at home. But she goes anyway because she gets to sit with all her friends. It's like, oh
Sure.
my Lord. Yeah, yeah. And have breakfast with her friends. No, it's I think it's a good thing.
And speaking of food, Morgan, you're not maybe artistic, but you're our baker in the group. You like to bake, don't you?
I do. I
And
love baking.
so the holidays are coming up, right? So do you have like favorite kind of holiday cookies? Do you guys do gingerbread or like what's your
Um,
go-to?
our go-to is peanut brittle, but my grandmother who
Oh,
passed last September was kind of she couldn't lift the giant boiling thing of peanut brittle mix anymore, but she was like the one who'd tell us the measurements. So we didn't really do anything last Christmas because we were still mourning, but this
Yeah.
Christmas I want to make peanut brittle. Definitely will need help from my mom. I will do the lifting, but it's hard because you either make it too hard and people break teeth, or you make it so
yeah,
chewy that they can't swallow it. So
yeah. Oh,
it's
I
hard to
do
find
love
that
peanut
balance.
brittle.
Oh,
Yeah,
and almond
Always.
bark. Yeah.
almond
Yes, we
Oh
make
bark.
white
Yeah,
yeah.
chocolate almond bark
white
too.
chocolate. Yeah.
Oh, yum.
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Mm.
my go-to cookie now is the Russian tea cakes that you told me about.
They're so easy to
Ooh.
make.
Oh, yeah. And when I looked the recipe up, because I lost yours in the messages, it said that they're more well known as snowball cookies. Did you know
Oh,
that? I
no,
didn't
I
know that.
didn't.
Oh, they're
Oh,
so good. Yeah. Just
What are
little
in them?
ball butter, icing sugar, vanilla,
Oh,
flour, and a little bit of salt.
that's
And
it.
that's
Just
it.
roll them into balls and you put the balls on the cookie sheets and
Yeah.
bake away and they make
400 degree.
domes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
ooh,
400.
that
Oh,
sounds good.
oh, and the traditional ones, you put crushed nuts in them.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And
I
then
forgot about that.
did you do yours when you were warm, Julie? You roll them in icing
Yeah.
sugar and then
As soon
roll
as
them
they come out.
again.
Yeah.
And then
As
they're
soon
like
as,
white
yeah.
snowballs.
Yeah. As soon as they come out the oven,
Mm.
roll them in icing sugar. And then when they're completely cooled down, roll them again.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Super
so
easy.
good. Melt in
Yeah.
your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're a good one
Yum.
for
Yeah.
Christmas treats as well.
I must admit, as I get older, I'm not as much into baking or cooking, really. I remember when my gran was in her 90s, she just like flat out, okay, I'm done. I don't want to cook anymore. And I'm like, I'm kind of
Yeah.
getting there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I'm sorry to tell you, ladies, you've got a good 30 years to go before you can
I
quit.
know.
Uh,
I know.
I
Oh,
guess everyone
dearie.
will have to live on peanut butter sandwiches.
Yeah, really.
We need those.
Oh,
One of the members were talking the other day in a room about oh, I can't remember what they were called, but they're made
Uncrustables?
from, pardon me, Morgan.
Uncrustables? The pre-made sandwiches?
No, they're
oh,
pre-made sandwiches.
Oh,
No, these were
yeah.
frozen dinners, but they're all healthy. They're healthy,
oh,
but they're
Okay.
Oh,
individual. There's no additives, no, yeah, I can't remember what it was called. Shoot.
I think
People knew
Stephanie
all about
told
Steamers?
them.
me. Yeah, the Uncrustables I heard about from
oh my
Stephanie.
God. My mother-in-law, may she rest in peace, she would buy these peanut butter and jelly, right, Morgan? The Crustables, and she would defrost them. She'd come to my house and she would just leave them in the spare bedroom and she would eat them periodically through the day. I was like, okay, if that's what you like to eat. Oh, it was like an elderly toddler with her peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
Frozen sandwiches.
She was so cute. Yeah, but you can still
Yeah.
buy them.
You
They're
actually
very
pay quite
expensive, though.
expensive for them,
Oh my
right?
God. Yeah, they're not cheap at all. I mean, you
Well,
could
I
make them
never,
cheaper.
yes,
Yeah. Yep, a doodle. Mm-hmm.
But we did learn a lot of things throughout the podcasts, right? Like Julie, remember you were surprised that there was clear mascara
yes.
Yeah.
and so many other things. It's like, wow, I didn't know that even existed.
No.
There
Yep.
are so many things out there that we miss.
I thought
Yeah.
it was cool that Tony rode a motorcycle. That was very cool. It was like,
Yeah,
wow, that's wild. She was so
yeah,
adventurous. I mean, she still is, but
just it.
growing up on a farm, that was cool. Yeah, a lot of fun highlights.
And I'm so happy that Jo joined us for literacy because I know it's very important to her. I mean, to listen to Jo read a book when she does a story hour, I mean, there is no way you would think that's somebody reading Braille.
Braille. Yeah, it's
It's
amazing.
flawless.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful, and it is important to all of us, I think, literacy. But especially now that we can't use our eyes to read things. It's
Yeah.
again, I think, learning Braille for everyday use has been a game changer for me.
Yeah.
Morgan, you and I are probably at about the same level now. I think we need to finish punctuation. Have you found anywhere that you've had to use it when you've been out and about in the community yet?
Elevators.
Yes.
Specifically the elevators at my doctor's office.
Yes. Yeah. It's pretty cool when you read it for the first time, isn't it? It's like, oh, I did
Yes.
it. I
I remember I
actually
was
did
like,
it.
that's the number indicator, and then followed by a B, so that's floor 2. I was like, I got it.
Yeah. I'm not lost anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Do
was
they have
getting
the
to the
room numbers in Braille too? Like, say, down the hallways, each room? Do they?
Oh
it
no, my
depends on
doctor's
which,
office.
sorry.
I was gonna say my doctor's office is a maze. Like
Oh,
I still don't know my way. Like I know my way to where they take blood because it's just down the hall past the first little entrance, and then the second one. Then you turn and there's 2 rooms. So you're either in room 1 or 2, and the chair is right against the wall on the left side to sit. But I don't know how to get to my doctor's because it's a
mhm.
multiple doctor clinic kind of
Yeah.
thing. So I don't know how to get to my doctor's specific rooms. So I still need to be led there and escorted
Yeah.
back.
Hmm. I think it depends on which province you're in. If it's law that everything has to be accessible, then I believe everything should be in Braille. Now, whether that's an actual reality or not is a whole different thing. But that's where we are right now in Nova Scotia, is everybody has to be barrier free by 2030. And unfortunately, well, I mean, it's wonderful. I'm extremely happy that the government passed this law. But now all the businesses and even government itself are feeling like we do when we go to the optometrist and they say, oh, well, you're legally blind. See ya. Don't let the door hit you in the backside on the way out. Everybody's feeling like that because the government has said you have to be barrier free, but they're not. There's
Yeah.
nothing out there to tell them how to be barrier free. So if anybody would like any advice or suggestions, please contact us by commenting below or reaching us through the International Blind Cafe. Can I get a job as a radio announcer now, please?
Very
I'm
I
here.
know where I live, it's they have to be like accessible, and when they say accessible, unfortunately, they only mean wheelchair accessible right now, which is great for people in wheelchairs, but there's so many other disabilities out there. But buildings that are historical or built before a certain time, which where I live is a lot of the buildings and businesses that occupy those buildings, don't have to comply. So there's a lot of inaccessible places.
Yeah, that's difficult. Victoria's the same, old buildings, right?
Yeah.
I think that especially in our provinces, Morgan, where we're seeing the aging population, I think businesses are going to realize that if they don't make it accessible, they're going to lose a lot of clients, customers, whatever. But you never know.
Mm.
We can only change it or try to change it one day at a time, right? One person at a time. And
speaking of aging population, it's like, I mean, we've always talked about it being blind and visually impaired. You need to have a good memory, but that gets harder as you get older. The other day I was, took the cap off the milk jug. I was doing something, and I actually put it in my pocket, but it took me 5-10 minutes to scour the counter. Couldn't find the lid. But so, I mean, we do have to remember things, like we put the lid here and we put certain things like, it gets difficult.
It's challenging. It's challenging.
We do have to make sure we're really organized.
Mm-hmm.
But more and more I walk into the living room and the kitchen and I think, what did I come for now? And I'll start to say something even, and my husband will look at me and say, carry on. And I'm like, no, I forgot what I wanted to say.
Yeah, go back out and come in.
Yeah. Let me think about that. I'll get back to you.
Yeah. Let's pause this conversation for when I remember what I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Terry, when we spoke to Terry, the very first episode, when she spoke about how she was in charge of the blueprints of the prisons and everything,
Yeah.
it really is like we really do have to firmly imprint that blueprint of our home and surroundings firmly in our brain, though, don't we? Like, you got to be really smart to be blind. I truly believe that now.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be really smart.
Yep.
So I really have thoroughly enjoyed everybody. I do really want to make sure that we give credit. I mean, behind every successful woman, there's a man. And without Scout, we would not be doing what we're doing right now.
No,
And
thanks, Scout.
Yeah,
he's the best.
You really are, Scout. You're so encouraging. You're always positive, even when you're telling us 2, 3, 4 times during the season, try not to talk over each other. You never lose your calm with us, and you have such great ideas and suggestions, and we really do.
Yeah.
We really do appreciate you.
We do. You put up with us.
Well, he doesn't have a choice about that anymore. He's stuck with us now.
That's true.
Yeah. We were doing improv this morning. Scout runs an audio improv in the cafe, and we were doing audio. We were doing that this morning, and he's just, we're not good at what we're doing, but it's always the positive that Scout points out. So I love that. So is there anything that we want to share about next season, ladies?
Yes. If you would like to be a part of the conversation and join us on Blind Gems, leave a comment or go to the internationalblindcafe.com.
Yeah.
We would love to have you.
We really
Yeah.
would. Like, seriously, if you're listening, we can talk the hind leg off of anybody, let alone a donkey. So don't feel shy. Just remember, you have a voice. So come and join us. We love to talk to new people, and everybody is welcome. So please, if you would like to, I don't think we're intimidating. And if we are, we don't need to be. Not at all.
No.
So, ladies, it's been a joy. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I would like to say in closing, if friends were flowers, I'd pick you.
Aw.
And I
Aww.
can't wait for season 3 because
Yeah.
you're all amazing. You make such a difference in my life. I can't even begin to tell you. So thank you
I'd like
so
to
much.
echo that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You can find more from Blind Gems on YouTube, Spotify, and the internationalblindcafe.com website.